Easy question I have to say.
Yes, ganyan na ganyan yung itsura niya.
Let's do it!
What the hell? Like, it's me. And you say, oh my God.
It was like, holy beep. What's this going on? Because even now I get like speechless.
Why is it important for a beauty queen to have a good?
You do not know how to speak your mind. You're not going to give your organization much credibility for what you're really fighting for.
Beauty queen doesn't mean perfection. Now I feel embarrassed to say this, but I'm going to do it because that's how I am. So I'm not gonna go.
My wave became the Miss International wave. Right, Steven?
I have become a pageant.
Ito naman yung bumaba. Sabi ko, oh my God, kasi nasa-grabe na ng planet. Tapos pag inaangat ko, hinihila niya. So ako, angat siya. Hila.
My travels. I love my travels.
I would just want it to be that I gave something back that made them happy.
Money or love?
Love.
Hi, and good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Missosology Beauty Talks. I am your Missosology editor, 𝘃𝙀𝙀𝙀 and we are joined today by Missosology International correspondent, 𝘾𝙃𝙀𝾆. Hi, Amir, how are you? You're on mute. You're on mute, Amir.
I'm sorry. Yes, Drew, I'm doing good, and I miss this beauty talks. I miss this beauty talks, and I'm so excited to have a little bit of chit chat with our new guest for tonight.
Yeah, but before that, we're also joined by our special guest panelist, Stephen Diaz. Hi, Stephen.
Hi, I'm back. Hi, Bashers.
Yes, you're
I'm back. Did you miss
Hi.
me? Of course, I missed you. Yeah, but before we introduce our guests for today, it's time to have a quick summary of the happenings in the world of pageants over the past days. This is Pageant News Roundup. And first on our pageant news, First on our pageant news. Pageant veteran Natalia Pigula has been named as the new Miss Universe Poland 2020, and she will represent the country at the 69th Miss Universe pageant. She is a 26-year-old civil engineer, model, and businesswoman, and replaces Miss Polski 2019 Magdalena Kasiborska, who would not be able to compete in Miss Universe due to health reasons. Monica Grigorian has been named as Miss Universe Armenia 2020. The 21-year-old English language and literature student and model will represent Armenia at the 69th Miss Universe pageant. Another Miss Universe News pageant veteran, Christina Lasasima, has been announced as Miss Universe Laos 2020. The 27-year-old Lao Belarusian professional model, who was previously the Miss Laos 2020, will represent the Southeast Asian nation at the 69th Miss Universe. Miss Denmark 2017 Amanda Petri has been appointed as the new Miss Universe Denmark, the organization announced on March 14. The 24-year-old pageant veteran who previously competed in Miss World will represent the country at the 69th Miss Universe competition. Amir.
Yeah, Drew, on the other side of the news, Grace Ingaberi was crowned Miss Rwanda 2021 in a glittering finale held last March 20. The 25-year-old beauty representing the city of Kigali is expected to compete at the 70th Miss World contest this year. Talia Zinzoni was also crowned Miss Earth Burkina Faso during the finals held March 12 in Ouagadougou. The 21-year-old bank insurance licensed student aged out 12 other candidates for the title and has the right to represent the West African nation in the next edition of the Miss Earth pageant. Savannah Lynn de los Santos.
Hi, it's me.
Yes.
It's Miss International News Update. Savannah Lynn de los Santos was crowned Miss Marianas 2021 during the finals held on March 14. The 23-year-old business administration and marketing graduate edged out 7 other aspirants or candidates for the right to represent the Northern Marianas at the 60th Miss International Beauty Pageant to be held in November.
Wow.
Yep, and that's it for this week's pageant news roundup. And now it's time to introduce our very special guest for tonight. Go, Mir.
Okay, now our special guest for tonight is a model, entrepreneur, presenter, and author who was crowned Miss Universe Argentina 2020. Friends, it is all welcome the lovely Alina Akselrad.
Alina.
Yeah.
Hello,
Hi,
everyone.
Alina.
Good night, good evening, good afternoon. How are you?
We're good. How are you,
Very good.
Alina?
I'm fine. I'm so happy to start my day this way because here in Argentina it's so early, but it's the best way to start my day. How about you? How are you?
Yo, we're all good.
We're all good. We're all excited to see you. We're all excited
Thank
to have a
you.
little bit of chit chat with you today.
Thank you so much for this invitation. I'm so happy that you took me into account.
It is
No,
also our
Alina.
honor to have you
It is our
here.
honor. Yes.
Thank you.
I know it's very early. It's 8 a.m. in Argentina, but before we start our your pageant journey and your preparations for Miss Universe, we want to know a little bit more about you in this game called This or That. So the mechanics of this is very simple. We will just ask you to pick between two things or two scenarios and just give us your answer and a brief explanation why you chose
Right.
that answer. So are you
Okay.
ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Yep. So okay, so the first one is swimsuit or long gown?
Long gown, definitely. I like the elegance. I like that everything is slower, that it's passionate. I prefer evening gowns, like all my life. But I enjoy both.
Do you have,
Mhm.
can I ask a little bit, Drew? Do you have a little bit of a favorite color for such an evening gown?
Yeah, I like light colors. I don't like much black on long gowns, but I prefer
Okay.
maybe a pink, silver, a gold. Why not?
Mhm.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, the next one, Facebook or Instagram?
It's Instagram, definitely.
Yes, and I know you're very active on Instagram.
Yeah,
Yes,
Drew, actually, she
I
is.
enjoy a lot Instagram. I try to be active, to communicate, to interact, because for me it's like not only a social network, but a social media that gets in touch with people from all around the world, as well as Facebook. But if I have to choose, I will choose Instagram.
Okay, the next one, coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Coffee.
Yeah,
Coffee
Mhm.
lover.
and why? Because it makes me feel awake and it's the best way to start my days, my morning. But I'm saying this, I'm choosing coffee because you haven't tried mate, that is our popular drinking here in Argentina, that you should definitely
Mhm.
try it.
Okay.
Well, you have to try that one.
Yeah.
Beach or city?
Beach, and why choose on the beach? Because you're like in connection with yourself, with nature. It's like so quiet, and I really enjoy going to the beach and getting suntan, of course.
Definitely. Would you rather be on a zombie outbreak or an alien invasion?
What a question. I would choose an alien invasion here this way. And
Ooh.
why? Because it's good to know that we're not the only ones in this universe, but maybe there's life like somewhere else. And who knows, we can become friends and we can share some
Yeah.
ideas or some moments.
Mhm. Would you rather know how the world began or how it will end?
How it began. I don't want to know the end. I just want to enjoy. I'm so curious and I want to know everything. And why I'm here today, it's because of the past of history and a lot of things that occurred before. So maybe how it began.
Mhm. Would you rather lose all your old memories or never be able to make new ones?
Mm, I would choose never be able to make new ones, maybe, because who I am today is the result of all my memories, anecdotes, and experience. And I have to keep going and to keep learning. But I believe that the woman that I'm today, it's because of my experiences, and it's what makes me keep moving and keep motivated.
Mhm. Would you rather have more time or more money?
More time, and now that I am at Miss Universe preparation, and 24 hours are never enough. So I will definitely choose more time.
I totally understand.
Yes, yes.
Yep. The next one. Would you rather be criticized or be ignored?
I prefer to be criticized because
Mhm.
it's because you're doing something. When people talk and make critics, it's because you're moving and you're putting words into actions. When you're ignored, it's because no one cares about what you're doing. So in the end, even if it's like positive or negative comments, it's important to have that feedback and to know that people are care and that matter about what you're doing and who you are, and that's important also.
Good answer. And the last one, crown or romance?
And how do you do if the crown is your romance and that you're in
Oh.
love with this pageant? And then, like, honestly, and I will tell this like for the very first time in a live video, I broke up with my boyfriend some month ago because he said, "It's me or Miss Universe," and here I am. So you can say I am
Oh.
That was an interesting revelation.
Yeah,
yeah,
this is
yeah,
actually funny.
yes. It's the very first time that I'm talking about my boyfriends and my love story, but like really he was like wondering to ask me that question. He didn't know me at all.
Definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
That was fun, actually, Alina. But at this
Yeah,
point,
because I believe
yes,
that
yes.
is part of being independent, of being the woman you want to be. And your happiness depends on yourself, and happiness is not like next to a person, but it's inside you. And if that person is setting you limits and doesn't support you in your dreams and in your goal, he's not the correct person. So I decided to follow my heart, to follow my dreams, and to work for
Yes.
them. So here I am.
I think you made the best decision.
Thank you.
Of
With that,
course.
I don't regret. Honestly, I don't regret.
Oh my god.
but at
Hopefully
this
he's
point,
sleeping now.
at this point, we will talk about your pageant journey. So go, Mir, take it
Yeah,
away.
Yes, okay. Alina, people know you now as Miss Universe Argentina. But who was Alina before she joined beauty pageants?
Who was Alina? I started participating in pageants when I was 16 years old. So rather than before pageants, I would say besides pageants, because I grew up among books, because I continue with my studies and my professional career, among sashes and crowns, because I have always been participating in pageants since then. So I would say that besides pageantry, Alina is a broadcaster. I work in my family business. I love enjoying and being with my family. I love staying at home. I enjoy spending time doing community service activity. I carry on my advocacy campaign since a long time. And I have a radio show together with my mother. So media
Wow.
is something I really enjoy, and I combine it also with pageantry.
Wow, that was nice. That was interesting. Now, Alina, growing up, did it ever cross your mind like you will become a beauty queen?
Yes, of course, my whole life, every single birthday, I dressed up as a princess and I made everyone wear crowns when it was my birthday. But honestly, I was more like the you have you seen like Little Miss Sunshine in the movie?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was me. I was
Oh,
overweight, I wore
Oh.
glasses, I had my fringe, I wore brackets, but I knew that one day I was going to be the queen. And I believed so much in myself that I worked so hard since then. And I believe that when we are little girls and kids, we determine our lives and our future. So it's important to believe and to trust in children's dreams.
I just
Wow.
want to ask Alina regarding your passion towards pageantry because I believe that there is some sort of a influence from the family why you are so into pageantry. So the family name Akselrad has its roots from Russia, as you told us earlier.
Yeah.
So has it something to do with your parents being brought up were your parents born in Russia, or were they immigrants?
Actually, my great-grandparents were from Russia, and they arrived to Argentina after the Second World War. So my parents were born here. But you know that my mother was a beauty queen, and my grandmother also. So there you can see that actually there is like quite an influence, but I'm here because of my choice and not because of them. Of course, they influence, but I'm here because I choose to be here, and I believe that that's important because none of my sisters like participating in pageants, and it's fine. Also, we were never obligated to join them, but it was our decision, and I'm so happy to have them as a reference.
Interesting.
Wow.
Because a lot of people probably do not know that Argentina is actually a country of so many immigrants, Spanish, Italians, Russians, or Germans as well. So you're like a
exactly
smorgasbord of different nationalities.
That's part of our story, of our history as a country. I have some of Poland, Russian. I have Spanish descendants also. So I'm like a mixture of cultures and identities, and I really enjoy that.
Wow. Okay, now I have another question. In 2017, you were crowned Miss Southern America in Lima, Peru. A year later, you competed in World Miss Tourism Ambassador in Thailand, where you were named as World Miss Tourism Ambassador America. What were the lessons that you learned in this contest that you brought with you in Miss Argentina?
Well, first I have to say that in that pageant is where I met Paui, so I'm sending a lot of greetings.
Paui is now in Egypt.
Oh, yeah. And a big lesson that I learned from those experiences is that I'm not Alina anymore. I am Argentina, and I have to be committed to doing my best for my country, because it's not only about me, it's about my people and the 45 million of Argentinians. So that it's not only about luxury hotels, crowns and sash, but it's about a responsibility of carry on and being an ambassador of my country. And I believe that's so nice, and it's an opportunity that not everyone has. So you have to enjoy it and do your best for your country.
Wow. Now, you were a top 7 finalist in Miss Universe Argentina 2019. What was your reaction then when you found out that you were chosen as the new Miss Universe Argentina? You can take us back to those moments.
Yeah, of course. Actually, I was the happiest woman of the universe. I was, when I didn't win the crown in 2019, like I promised myself that I was going to do my best and to keep working, because I knew that one day I was going to try it again. It was a Sunday in December when I received a call from Osmel Souza, and he said like, Alina, you're the chosen one for Miss Universe. And I was in the office. It was a Sunday. I was working in my family business. It's actually a real estate agency. And I was with my mother, and I was like, oh my God, it's the call that I have been waiting for all my life.
Wow.
And he said like, in 20 minutes, we're having a video call. It will be your first interview. And everything was so quick that I realized what was going on that night when I watched the video on Osmel YouTube's channel. You can watch it, of course. It's still there.
Yes.
And it was like the moment that I have been waiting for all my life. And I remember it with so many emotions. It was quite a different crowning because I was in my house in pandemic, but it was unforgettable. It was unforgettable.
And then you talk about it to your boyfriend, and then your boyfriend maybe choose.
You know that after the video, he sent me a message. And I was like, too late to support me, babe.
Now I remember there was a video of you when you finally received the crown and sash when it was delivered to you. So, how did it feel to have that sort of a different crowning moment?
Well, it was quite different, and it was a challenge for the whole team because the crown and sash were not in Argentina but in Venezuela, and we were in the middle of a pandemic where the flights were closed. So it was like an adventure to have it here in Argentina. My uncle was on a trip in Buenos Aires because I'm not in the capital of the country, but I am in Cordoba. That is like 11 hours away from Buenos Aires. So my uncle was there, and I asked him, like, please, I need you to bring me the crown and the sash. And he was the one who helped me. So I believe that not every queen has the opportunity of being crowned by her family and having their support. Of course, I won't lie you. I would have loved to be in a stage full of people with media, the cameras, because every beauty queen like expects that for her crowning. But it was different, and it was so warm that it was like better than ever. It was so nice.
Yep. And you mentioned that we were in the middle of a pandemic. I'm sure that preparing for Miss Universe is a challenge. So, what has been the most difficult thing that you did in preparing for Miss Universe?
Well, actually, a great challenge for me and my team is distance, because I'm here in Argentina, Osmel and the whole team is in Venezuela, and of course, like beyond, I was there for 2 months getting prepared by them. They are like an excellent team, and I feel blessed working with them. Now I have to continue with my preparation, like from like video calls on my own, and it's quite challenging. So that's something that it's making everything a little bit difficult, but we are here and we are working, and I want like every Argentinian to know that your queen is doing her best in order to represent our country.
Yep. And now I'm flashing a photo of you with the Osmel Souza. So, how is the feeling of being mentored by no less than Osmel?
Well, actually, for me, as well as to every beauty queen and every director, mixologist, and I really admire him, and I feel blessed of having the opportunity of working next to him. He has, like, he's very exigent. He's so professional, and he is looking for every detail in order to make you the correction so that you keep improving. And it's good when your director wants to take and to create the best from you. Something that is like characterizes Osmel is that he will never tell you when you're doing a good job. He will only make you realize when you have to change or to improve something, and that's something you have to deal with, because it's good to have or to feel that support and to have that cheering up. But well, it's something that you have to know how to work with. But in the end, it's an amazing opportunity, and it's so nice to having her advices and his mentoring. So I feel blessed of working with him.
Yep. Just a follow up on that. What has been the most memorable advice that stuck with you from Osmel?
Well, a memorable advice. Well, actually, I have so many right now, and he's all the time like, as you saw in the previous picture, he is like, your hand should be like this. You must smile all the time. Well, in the picture that I'm next to him, I had just arrived to Venezuela, and he was like, those shoes, girl, okay, stand up like this. No, your hand should be like this. And it was like, okay, the hard work have just started. And a good advice is that one, that you're always a beauty queen, no matter if you're at home, if you're in the supermarket, if you're on stage or not. You're always a beauty queen because you're representing your country. And as I have just said, that's a quite responsibility, and you have to be like perfect all the time.
Yes. Yeah. Now you mentioned that the whole team is in Venezuela, and I'm sure we all know that it's a really good team in preparing a beauty queen. So, and to win Miss Universe, you have to undergo a lot of things like interviews and swimwear and evening gown rounds. So, which part of the competition do you think are you most confident?
More confidence in the interview. It's a moment that I really enjoy, because like the judges want to get you to know, and it's a moment to raise your voice, to share your ideas, and it's something that I really enjoy, and actually is what motivates me to be here, to share my ideas, to share my advocacy campaigns, and it's the opportunity to share that information with the judges and the organization.
Yes. Yep. And the last question related to your preparations. Um, can you give us a hint on what will be your costume and your evening gown for Miss Universe?
I see where you going to go. Well, I can only tell you that I'm working so that every Argentinian feels proud of the costume and
Mhm.
that it's something that represents the identity of my country. So we are working on giving that message through the costumes and the dresses, and I hope that you'll love it because I'm loving it, honestly.
Yeah. So now I'm giving the floor back to Amir.
Okay, now we will be talking more about your advocacy works.
Yes.
You've been doing a lot of charity works this past few months. Can you walk us through this and which cause is closest to your heart?
Yes, of course. It's something that I have been working for not only this month and not only because of Miss Universe, but for me, philanthropy is a lifestyle and it's something that I share with my family since I was a little girl. And also, this spirit is what I want to share. I'm an advocate for children's rights. I believe that when we empower our children, when we focus and we strengthen their emotional and their physical integrity, is like the stepping stone for successful and for empowered adults. So it's important that we start working in our childhood, in our kids, so that we don't have to suffer the consequences of adults that want to overcome the situations of their lives. So I created my own advocacy campaigns like 4 or 5 years ago that it's called Queens and Captains of Life. So I visit hospitals and I get to know the different children who are an example or a role model for other kids because they have like good marks at school beyond their like economic or social issues that they may be experiencing, or because they're facing a disease and they need that cheering up and they need someone who says like, you can do it, I trust you, I believe in you. Many times I needed an adult who believed in me and I didn't have him by my side. So today I work to be that adult that I needed by my side when I was a little girl. And that's something I want to invite you to do it. Like,
Mhm.
go to that moment when you were a little kid, when you needed someone who believed in you, who trusted you. At the beginning of the interview, I talk about that I felt like Little Miss Sunshine and all that, and that's my real story. And I felt so bad so many things because of discrimination, because I was the different one, I was the fat, the piggy, and I needed someone who told me like, yes, you can do it. Yes, you will be the beauty queen that you want to be. So today, we have to be the adults that cheer up other kids and to motivate them to keep going. And that's what I'm working on.
Yeah. That's good to hear, good to
Oh,
know.
nice. Very.
Yes.
Yeah. I also learned that you also wrote a book called Abraza to Poder. I hope I got it right. Or
Yeah!
Embrace Your Power. Can you tell us more about it?
Well, you have the latest news of the universe. I'm so happy for that. It's it would be Embrace Your Power in English. It's a book that I have just written. I wrote it during the pandemic. It was a way to put my ideas, my feelings, and emotions into words and to share this story with the ones who may need it. Actually, it's focused on helping teenagers, on helping children who are like looking for their identity, who want to know themselves a little bit more. So it's a book that has a little bit of my story, it has a lot of motivation, and it has a lot of interactive content as well, so that they can get to know themselves a little bit more, so that they can share this experience. And writing has always been something so attractive for me. So for me, it's like a dream came true having my first book published this April the 1st.
Wow.
Okay, so
Congrats.
mark your
Congrats.
calendars, guys, and we do hope
Yes,
we can get a
please.
copy of that.
Yes,
Yes, for me
we
it will
hope.
be an honor.
Yep.
Okay.
And you mentioned earlier that you're very confident about the interviews. So we're now on the awaited part of the beauty talks, which is called Ask the Queen. So in this segment, we asked the fans over the past week to send in some of their very interesting questions, and we'll pick the best ones to ask you. So Here's the first question, and it's from Top the Mises. What was
Yeah.
the hardest stage of your childhood, and how did you overcome it?
Well, for me, the hardest stage was my mother's cancer because I also suffered with her. I suffered her pain, I suffered her fears, and I needed to be strong for her. And it's so hard to see your mother or your father or someone you love suffering, and you can do nothing to make it better. So her cancer experience, although she's better now, she's with me and we share a lot of passions together. It was a very hard moment in my childhood.
I'm sorry to hear about that, but I'm very glad to know that your mom is okay now.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Yeah, she's great. She's fine. She comes with me to every experience related to
Yes.
pageants. We have our radio show, and it's something that we started living and enjoying life after that experience. So we have many lessons from cancer, and that's what I treasure and what I embrace as well.
Yes. So shout out to mom. Ali's mom. Hello,
Thank you so
mom.
much.
Okay, the next question is from Jun Jungkook 8483. What is your biggest fear?
My biggest fear is having no dreams. Because when you have dreams, you feel alive. You have a motivation. You have something like to work on. When I have no dreams, I feel like that I'm like weak or that I have no motivation at all. So my biggest fear is having no dreams because it's that you don't have a reason to live and you're rather surviving than living.
Mhm. Okay, the next one is from Pageant Lurker. If you had to change your name, what would your new name be and why would you choose that name?
Will this question be at the Miss Universe round? I never did. You're great. You're
This could be
great.
a very tricky question, actually, if they're going to ask
Yes.
viewers.
Yes, it's true. It's true. Well, they're so creative. Thanks for those questions. I would choose Luz. That it's my second name. That it means light in Spanish. And
Spanish.
for me, like our names have a lot of relationship with our personality, and I would love being the light in someone else's life. So I would choose that name, Luz. That means light.
I love it.
Nice
Drew,
one.
Drew, what about you? If you change your name, what will it be?
Oh, I just want it to be Andrew because I have a very long name. So just Andrew.
How's your complete name? How's your full name?
My full name is Mark Andrew Santos Francisco. So it's very long. When I was young, it's so hard to write. So I just want it to be either Mark or Andrew. So it's
It
easier
was
to
quite a
write.
challenge learning how to write.
Yes. Okay, the next question is very interesting also from Robin.Hood. What do you think about when you're alone in your bedroom?
Such a deep question, actually. Well, when I'm in my room, I try to connect with myself. I enjoy meditation. I pray every night, and I thank for everything that I'm living in this moment. So those are my thoughts when I am in my bedroom. Just realizing how blessed I am for living this experience, and I always thinking about the future. What can I improve in myself? And that's something that creates my discipline and that gives me a reason to keep working on myself every day.
Mhm. That's interesting. And the last question from the fans, but before I read the question, I just want to thank all the fans for sending in very interesting questions over
Thank you
the
so much.
even in the past episodes, we've always had very, very interesting questions.
Yes,
So
actually, Drew.
the last question is in Spanish.
I'll ask it. I want to
I,
ask it.
yeah, go, Stephen.
¿Qué harías como Miss Universo en tan corto tiempo y de pandemia?
Great, good Spanish.
Because
I answer it in English or in Spanish? As you prefer, in English.
Yeah.
Well, so it would be what, yes, well, there is a translation. I believe that it's not a matter of time, but of the quality and what you do during that period of time. Like, I would focus on carrying on my advocacy campaigns, doing as much visit to Smile Train as possible, crowning a lot of queens of life, a lot of captains of life, because it's my project and I would love to take it to the universe and to make it available for everyone who may need it. So for sure it would be a crowning moment and a period full of photo shoots, show, of course, but mainly related to campaigns, to putting feelings and being like objective with what is going on around the universe.
It's good so far, so good, Alina. That was a little bit intense, so I'll give you a few seconds to breathe because the
We're
next
going now
part
to
of
the
our
top three
segment
final questions.
is the hardest part of the beauty talks, and it is the Q&A challenge.
Q&A.
Yeah.
So in the segment, we will put you a little bit on the spot, and we will assume that you're already in the final Q&A of Miss Universe.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
thank you. My
So
God. Imagine.
we have 10 questions. These questions have been asked in many different pageants, and just give us a number from 1 to 10, and we will ask you the question that corresponds to the number that we've chosen. So, are you
Okay, so
ready?
it's my responsibility to choose a good question.
Yes.
Yeah, it's part of the law.
As if
Okay,
as if you're getting into the bowl.
yeah, it's like you're picking a number from the bowl.
Di-di-dim.
Okay.
Number 6.
Oh.
Okay. Question number 6 was asked in Miss Universe 2016. What is the most significant change you've seen in the world in the last 10 years?
The most significant change I have seen in the last 10 years are definitely all the movement related to women's rights. Here in Argentina, it's a big movement that is going on all over the world. That is ni una menos, no one less. That brings us to the reflection of gender-based violence, and it was the perfect moment and why I choose this movement, because women are raising our voices. We are defending our rights, and it's something that it hasn't been done for the last years. So for me, that's the most important movement, and that we have to keep moving because our silence doesn't save lives.
Wow. I love it.
Good answer.
I love it.
Thank you.
Second number.
Second number, so I will forget. Question number 2.
Okay. Question number 2 was asked in Miss Universe 2012. As an international ambassador, do you think that speaking English should be a prerequisite for Miss Universe? Why or why not?
For me, it's important that contests knows at least like the basic English. You don't have to talk as a native, but it's important to know English in order to be able to read the schedule every morning, in order to relate with other candidates, to have a communication with the judges, with the organization, not only because of the pageant, but also because you will be more confident if you know what's going on around you. So I believe that it should be a prerequisite, not talking as a native, but at least being able to communicate with others.
I agree.
Okay. So the third and last number, Alina.
The last number. Question number 4.
Okay. Question number 4. I think this was asked in Miss Universe 1998. Correct me, Stephen, if I'm wrong.
Okay.
A woman has just awakened after being asleep for 20 years. What do you tell her she missed?
Oh, she will be crazy when she wakes up. I believe that everything that's going on in social media and social networks is something that 20 years old didn't happen. So she missed a lot of movements, being able to be close to people who are far away, but in the same time telling her that many times social networks make us feel a part of who is next to us. And also, there were many concepts that changed in our lives with the rise of social networks. So I will advise her to be aware and to choose the family, to choose the feelings, and to never let her mind blow with so many things that are going on in this virtual world.
Very
Good job.
Thank you.
Do you want to answer more?
Yeah,
Do you want to answer more? Okay. So, do you want to pick a number, or I will just ask you the question?
I want you to choose a question for me now.
Okay. Okay. This question was asked in Binibining Pilipinas, 2017,
Great.
I think, or 18. What advice would you give a 16-year-old girl for her to become more socially aware and become an empowered young lady?
Not to be afraid of sharing her ideas. Many times we're thinking of what will people say if, and that's a phrase that frustrated so many dreams. So I will take her to that she's the creator of her own life, and she's the one who will determine to be rather the protagonist or the victim of her story. And she has to work to become the woman that she wants to be, and that it's only up to her.
Wow.
Oh,
Drew, I have one question. Can I ask?
yeah, go here.
Yeah, Alina. I learned that you're a writer and you love writing, right? A book.
Yes.
Now, if you were to write a book about yourself, what would be the title?
I love that question, and actually it's something that I have been thinking about when I have just published this book that is Embrace Your Power. And if I have to choose maybe another title, I would choose something related with power as well. Maybe like Your Voice is Your Power. And it would be focused in the power of your words, but not only in what I'm speaking, but what we speak to ourselves in our mind that determines how we will react in our lives. So maybe you're giving me an idea for my second book, maybe. Maybe we can talk later so that,
Yes.
so that I start writing.
Yes,
I have a title for her second book.
Which
yes,
title?
go,
What would
Stephen.
you be, Stephen?
I Chose the Crown.
Oh,
Love it. Yes, yes, yes.
I know why.
And it will have like a dedication to someone special.
Because of you, I have the crown.
I love it. I
I
love
choose
that
Crown.
title. Yes, I choose the crown. Wow, yes. We will talk a little bit later about that.
Yes.
Good
Okay,
idea.
And now we're on to the last part of our beauty talks, unfortunately. And Amir, take it away.
Yeah, yeah, we'll be having some final words, right, Drew?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, Amir.
Now, as a beauty queen, you are not just a face, but also an ambassador of your country. So, how will you introduce the Argentina to your fellow contestants?
Argentina for me, it's diversity. As we were talking, not only diversity in our community, in our society because of the immigrant influence, but diversity in our landscape. Here in Argentina, we have water rainfalls, we have glaciers, we have mountains, lakes, river. It's so huge, our country, that makes it so rich. It's also diverse in religions that prophets here. It's also diverse in the revolutions that are going on as regards social movements. So honestly, I invite you to have the experience of knowing Argentina because of the passion that we have not only for football, for politics, but also that we are so passionate in everything that we do that you should come here to live the experience of feeling and living as an Argentinian. So you're
Oh, I
always
want to be
welcome
in.
here with all my heart.
Yes, hopefully someday we can visit Argentina.
Yes,
Yes.
just let me know. If you come here and you don't call me, I will be
Yes,
like,
Alina. And by the way, Alina, I just want to say thank you. I really appreciate because you respond to my, my message in Instagram. So not all
oh,
beauty queen respond to me message in Instagram, but you did. Thank you so much. I
oh,
really
please,
appreciate
thank
that.
you so much. I
Anyway,
love that.
so
Thank you again.
Yeah, I
okay,
have to add, Amir. I have to add.
yeah,
We've been corresponding with a lot of beauty queens over the past years. Alina is one of the sweetest on Instagram.
Oh, thank you. Thank you
it's
so
so
much
nice,
for that.
honestly.
Yeah.
I'm
so
so
nice.
grateful that you send me messages and that you show me your support. That I believe is the last thing that we can do with our supporters, with people who care about us. So thank you so much for taking me into account and for cheering me up and motivate me to keep going. I really appreciate it.
Okay. Now back to our question, Drew. What qualities do you feel you have that would make you as a great Miss Universe?
I believe a great quality that I do have is my discipline. And I believe that it's important as regards setting our goals and working for them. And I believe that a Miss Universe must know what she wants to do as a Miss Universe and set a plan and follow it so that she can give her best, and that it's only possible with determination and discipline. And I'm working every day on that, and it's a quality that characterizes me. So I believe that's important and that will help me to do a great job as Miss Universe.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah.
Keep on going.
Now, before I ask the next question, this is a question that is not included in the list that I sent you, but I feel that I want to know your answer on this.
Yeah, sure.
What would be your message to someone who thinks that you're not qualified or pretty enough to represent your country in this universe?
Well, more than once I have to face those comments and those ideas. And I believe that we are free to choose what we want to do. And we are not a coin of gold to be loved by everyone. And I can't oblige anyone to support me and to follow me, but I will tell him to take the time and the opportunity to get to know me, that go beyond that first impression and get the opportunity to know about my advocacy campaigns, about my passion with which I'm carrying on my title as Miss Argentina. I will tell him that he has not the obligation to support me, but at least before making an opinion about me or my family, get to know me. And then you can give rather a positive or negative comments, but you can't criticize something that you don't know.
Wow.
Nice. Yeah.
Thank you.
And at this point, we're now on the pass or go question. So I will type the question on our private chat here,
Okay.
and then just tell us if you want to answer it, go, or if you want to pass.
Great.
So the question is, da-da-da-da.
Ta-da-dum.
It's not sent yet. Sorry. Oh, there. Is it a pass or a go?
Go. Let's go with this one.
Okay, go. So for the benefit of our audience, the question is a hypothetical scenario. What if you are part of the Miss Universe top 3? Please name 2 other countries you envision yourself holding hands with.
From America, I really love my pageant mate, Bolivia. I really love her as a woman, as an advocate for women's rights. She's so nice, and I would love and feel proud if she's with me there in the top 3. And I know that you have a great queen, and that Asia and Philippines has great queens. And for sure, I know that she will be like far in the competition, and that would be a bless for me being next to such amazing women as them. Of course, I have so much more that I can't include in 3, such as Mexico, as Thailand, Indonesia is amazing, Mexico, the United States, but South Africa back to back, why not?
Yes.
But well, I believe that we all have something that makes us unique and makes us different from each other, and we all have like the opportunity of getting into the top 3 because we all have something to say, and that's the important thing.
That's more than 2.
That's more than 2. It's hard to choose just 2. Yes, you're right.
I know, sorry to choose. But thank you for saying go. Now, before I ask the next question, I just want to ask Stephen, do you have a question for Alina.
No. Actually, more of a question because I've been looking at her for the past 50 minutes now, and I've been processing my mind like who does she look like, because she really reminded me of someone else, and then I was actually like checking my phone a while ago, and then I realized that she actually looked like Erin Brady.
Yes.
She was Miss USA 2013.
Miss USA
She was Miss
2013.
USA 2013. Her name is Erin Brady. And the longer I look at you, I was like, she really reminds me of someone else, but I just don't know who she is. And I was like, who she is. And then, I found it.
So fun.
Not really a question, but I just want to say it.
I just want to share. Alina actually reminds me of Miss Venezuela World 2012. I forgot her name, but she looks.
I will look for that. It's nice having similar appearance to others.
Yeah, and now the next question is, we will imagine that there is a time machine and you could go back in time. What will you tell your 12-year-old self if you've ever met her?
That would be a so emotional moment for me. I will tell her that she's doing a great job, that she has to keep working because she will achieve her dreams. She will graduate as a communicator. She will be Miss Universe Argentina, so she has to relax and to enjoy the journey a bit more. That would be a good advice. So don't be so cruel with yourself. Don't be so rude with yourself, and enjoy this way because it's part of the process and it's part of your life, and you will have good consequences for all the effort that you're doing.
Yeah. And finally, fill in the blanks. I am Alina Akselrad from Argentina, and I am blank.
I'm Alina Akselrad from Argentina, and I am so happy to be sharing this moment with you.
Oh,
we are also very happy to share this moment with you, Alina.
It's our honor, actually.
All the way from Cordoba.
Oh yeah, I hope you come to Cordoba. Like, it would be a dream for me having you here.
Yeah, so thank you, Alina, for being on our show.
Thank you so
and
much.
Spending your very early morning with us.
Thank you so much for this invitation. It was a pleasure for me, and honestly, the best way to start my day. Thank you for taking me into account and to give this opportunity to Argentina.
Yep.
And before I forget, is Esteban still working with you guys? Is he still the person who is doing the emails and all that for Osmel?
He is the one, as Esteban is such a great person. I love him so much because he is the one who motivates me to keep going, who's all the time like, how do you feel? And I want to thank him for all the effort that he's doing despite distance. And yes, he's still part of the team.
Say hi to him and tell him to respond to my email because I emailed him some time ago.
Okay, I will send him. Don't worry for that. Because
as Alina, I just want to say hi to Osmel.
And Osmel also as well, you know.
I met him in Indonesia during Miss World.
Yes,
I met him as well in the United States during Miss World. He always goes to Miss World, but yeah.
Are you going to Miss Universe this year?
Paulie is going to Miss Universe, is what I heard.
I think Paulie.
Yeah. I'm happy to meet him again. Well, maybe we can see each other there and to keep enjoying and sharing this amazing time that we are.
That's true.
I will tell Esteban, I will send those mail greetings for all of you, and I'm sure he will love it.
Yep. And Alina, before we let you go, a message to all your team and supporters out there. You can also speak in Spanish.
Yes, I like that. So I will try to make both. First, I want to thank everyone who is on the other side supporting me, cheering me up, because I swear that I'm doing my best, and there's nothing better than feeling that you're like taking into account all my efforts and preparation. Mis queridos argentinos, les quiero agradecer de corazón por el apoyo, por estar del otro lado. Les prometo que estoy dando lo mejor de mí a cada momento, a cada instante para dejar nuestra bandera en lo alto y es por esto que más que nunca necesito de su apoyo y su acompañamiento y agradecerles eternamente porque gracias a ustedes es que me levanto todos los días con más fuerza para seguir dando lo mejor por Argentina. Los quiero mucho, mucho, mucho. Thank you.
Wow.
Once again, thank you, Alina.
Thank
Muchas
you. Have a
gracias.
good night, actually. I'm starting my day, but it's a good night for you.
Yes. So enjoy the rest of your day, and we wish you the best of luck in Miss Universe.
Good luck,
We'll be rooting for
Alina.
you.
So much. Thank you and good night.
Good night. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Before we end the show, I just want to ask Stephen. Stephen, what can you say about Alina?
Alina is she's very spontaneous. I mean, like, I really appreciate the fact that she's so honest with her opinion, and she is, even though English is not her native language, she was able to relay her thoughts very smoothly, very understandable, and very relatable. Yeah, I really appreciate that, and I hope the judges will appreciate that as well.
Yeah. And before we forget, tomorrow we'll be having a back-to-back episodes at 10 a.m. Philippine time. It's with 𝘋𝙀𝙀𝘾𝙆, Miss Universe Belize 2020, and at 7 p.m. Philippine time, it's going to be with the much-awaited Amanda of the Miss Universe Thailand 2020. So please watch out for that episodes. And before I let you go, Stephen, Amir, a Thailand-based pageant will be having its finals tonight. What are your fearless predictions?
Czech Republic.
I just want to say good luck to Sam. I love Sam.
Whoever wins, you know. I have my favorites, but yeah, if the Philippines wins, I'll be very happy because I'm from the Philippines.
Yeah.
I love
Amir?
Sam. Yeah, I love Samantha. Good luck, Samantha. I love you. And yeah, wishes you a lot of courage to fight for the Philippines. Good luck,
I know
Samantha. I love you.
Yeah, and I've been following the pageant actually because it's something that I need to learn as well, like how to run a pageant under pandemic. Because at Miss International, we also need to learn different kinds of aspects and what you need to be done, what needs not to be done. So yeah, looking forward for that as well. But whoever wins, hopefully she's the one that really did the best.
Aside from Samantha Drew,
Yes,
I'm also rooting for Mexico. I'm also rooting for Czech Republic and for Argentina and Indonesia.
Okay, for me, it's gonna be Philippines.
Philippines,
only.
Thailand, or Indonesia, right?
Yes, Philippines. Go Sam!
Ibigay mo na, Uncle.
Yeah, and yeah, it's but we'll see. We don't know what's gonna happen, right? It's always like that. I've been to the Miss Grand International live pageant in 2014. I was there, and then it's usually like that. You really don't know what's gonna happen. It's everyone's ball game. So
and on behalf of Missosology, we want to commend the organization for putting up a very good show, a very good pageant, even during a pandemic. And we wish everyone,
we need to learn.
We wish all the candidates the best luck. So
yes, and safe trip back home after everything, because we are.
And
still
I'm watching it after this.
So good night, everyone, and we'll see you again soon.
Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Bye. Thank you, Drew. Thank you, Amir.
Thank you, Drew.
Easy question I have to say.
Yes, ganyan na ganyan yung itsura niya.
Let's do it! What the hell? Like, it's me. And you say, oh my God.
They was like, holy beep. Was this going on? Because even now I get like speechless.
Why is it important for a beauty queen to have a good?
You do not know how to speak your mind. You're not going to give your organization much credibility for what you're really fighting for.
Beauty queen doesn't mean perfection. Now I feel embarrassed to say this, but I'm going to do it because that's how I am. So I'm not gonna go.
My wave became the Miss International wave. Right, Stephen?
I have become a pageant.
Ito naman yung bumaba. Sabi ko, oh my God, kasi nastrabit mo ng planet Earth. Tapos pag inaangat ko, hinihila niya. So ako, angat siya.
My travels. I love my travels.
I would just want it to be that I gave something back that made them happy.
Money or love?
Love.